Today I'm going to show you how to crochet an owl hat. You can find a list of all the materials needed in the description below. Alright, so we're going to begin with making a magic ring. You're just going to simply wrap the yarn around your hand like this, put the hook under that first bit over the next, and pull up a loop. Carefully pull your hand up, grab your working yarn, and we're going to make a chain. Okay, so you're going to chain one. And then we're going to be working over both of the pieces of yarn in your magic hook. You might want to put a stitch marker in your chain one space to be able to keep track of it. It can get a little tricky. Okay, so we're going to single crochet, put your hook right into the middle of that magic ring over both of those pieces of yarn. Yarn over your hook, pull up a loop. You've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull right through both loops. Okay, that's a single crochet. We're going to do that 5 times into the magic ring. Right now, the size that we're going to be working on is a standard child size in this video. If you want to have a different size, I do offer baby sizes as well, and a size chart if you wanted to work on even different sizing. And there's a link to written pattern in the description below. All right, so pull that little string from the magic ring to pull it closed once you've done your 5 single crochets, and we're going to close our round with a slip stitch into that chain 1 space. Okay, we're going to start our next round with a chain 1, so you can go ahead and move that stitch marker up into the next chain 1 space for this new round, and we're going to half double crochet 2 times in every stitch around. So find that first stitch and work a half double crochet. Okay, so you're going to yarn over your hook, push your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, so now you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. We're going to do another half double crochet in that very same stitch. Okay, so right now we're doing increasing rounds and we're working on the crown diameter of the hat. So we're going to work 2 half double crochet in every stitch all the way around. So by the end of this round, you should have a total of 10 stitches. All right, you're going to go ahead, continue working that 2 half double crochet every stitch all the way around, and then come back. All right, so now that we're back at the beginning, we're going to close this round with a slip stitch into our chain 1 space. And we're going to chain 1 to start the next round, move that stitch marker up to this new round, and we're going to still continue increasing. We're going to work 2 half double crochets into that very first stitch, and we're going to work 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, 2 in the following, 1 in the next, 2 in the following, 1 in the next. And you're going to repeat that all the way around until you get back to the beginning. By the end of this round, you should have 15 stitches. Okay, so just keep on going. And all the way around, when you get back to the beginning, close with a slip stitch, chain 1, and come back. Okay, now we're at the next round. We're going to work 2 half double crochet into that very first stitch of our new round, and we're going to work 1 half double crochet into each of the following 2 stitches. Okay, and you're going to keep doing that all the way around, close with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then come back, and you should have 20 stitches at the end of this one. All right, so for this next round, we're going to still continue increasing. We're going to work 2 half double crochets in the first stitch. Another one right in that very same stitch. And then 1 half double crochet into each of the following 3 stitches. So 1, 1 in the next, 1 in the next. And then you're going to work 2 in the following, and then 1, 1, 1. 2, 1 all the way around, close with a slip stitch, chain 1, and come back. Okay, so now we're at the next round. You're going to work 2 half double crochets into that very first stitch, and we're still continuing increasing. So we're working on a standard child size. So we're going to work 1 into each of the following 4 stitches. And you're going to do that same pattern all the way around. Okay, so follow that all the way around, close the slip stitch, chain 1, and come back. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing this next round. 2 in the first, 1 in each of the following 5. All the way around, close the slip stitch, chain 1, come back. All right, we're going to still increase a little more. 2 half double crochet in the first stitch, 1 in each of the following 6. You're going to do that all the way around, close with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then come back. Okay, continuing another increase round, 2 half double crochet in the first stitch, 1 in each of the following 7, close with a slip stitch, chain 1, and come back. Again, 2 in the first, 1 in each of the following 8. We're almost done increasing. Come back after this round. Last round of increase, 2 half double crochet in the first, 1 in each of the following 9. Come back when you finish this round and we'll move on. Okay, so now you've finished all your increasing rounds. We're going to work 1 half double crochet into every single stitch all the way around, just 1 in every stitch all the way around, because we're done our increasing for the crown. Now we're working on the hat height. Okay, so you're going to keep on going, working your 1 half double crochet in every stitch all the way around. You're going to go ahead and do that, close with your slip stitch, chain 1. Do that for a total of 3 rounds. When you finish 3 rounds doing that, you're going to come right back here and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so now we're going to switch our color. In this case, I chose pink and brown as my main colors. You could use whatever you want, but now it's time to switch to your next color choice. All right, so go ahead and get your other yarn, make your starting loop. This is how I make mine. Okay. Get that onto your hook, pull it through the loop that's currently on your hook to kind of swap it out there, and then do your chain 1 for the beginning of this round. And you're going to go ahead and work 1 half double crochet into every single stitch all the way around. And you're going to close each round with your slip stitch in the chain 1 space, and you're going to chain 1 for the beginning of each round. If you're working on a standard child size, you're going to go ahead and do this for a total of 7 rounds. For other sizing, you can reference the size chart on my website to see what hat height you should be working toward. There's a link in the description below for that, or you can follow the written pattern. I give specific row and everything counts on that too for different sizing below a standard child size. If you're looking to do a larger one or preemie, I would suggest referencing the size chart if you don't want to get the paid written pattern. All right, but again, in the description below, I do offer a lot of different helpful tips and resources. So as I said, working on a standard child size, you're going to go ahead and just continue on now with this color, your secondary color, working 1 half double crochet in every stitch all the way around. Go ahead and do it for a total of 7 rounds and then come back and we'll move on. Okay, so now that you've finished those rounds, we're going to go ahead and fasten off. From here, we're going to move on to make the ear flaps. So go ahead and fasten off. Okay. Fastening off includes pulling that little tail end through because that's what's going to secure your work. Now try and flatten out your hat, folding it in half, and try and make, I know the seam goes a little diagonal, but make the bottom part of the seam as centered as possible. If you're good at making a totally invisible seam, God bless. I'll be honest with you on that one. Sometimes I just do continuous rounds to avoid a seam, but hey, I've heard no complaints about this hat, so I'm happy with it. All right, let's do the ear flap. So get it as centered, the bottom of the seam as centered as possible. As we're going to count from that centered seam our stitches, we're going to reattach our yarn, the secondary color, into the 7th stitch. All right, so go ahead and count your way to the 7th stitch and get your hook in there to mark that little spot. Okay. And then reattach your yarn. So grab that secondary color of yarn and make your starting loop. Okay, get the loop onto your hook. Pull it through so it's wrapped around that stitch, chain 1. We're going to half double crochet into this very same stitch that we just reattached into. So half double crochet in there, and then half double crochet once into each of the next 11 stitches. So the beginning row of this ear flap should have a total of 12 stitches. Okay, so now that you've got that first row of the ear flap, you're going to chain one and turn your work. And we're going to half double crochet once into each of those same 12 stitches we just made. So again, after this row, you're going to have 12 stitches still. Okay, so now we're going to chain one and turn our work. And we're going to half double crochet decrease. So yarn over, push your hook through the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Push your hook right into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. Work a regular half double crochet stitch into each of the following 10 stitches. So you'll be, when you're getting to the end of the row, you're going to leave those last 2 open for a second, and we're going to work another half double crochet decrease. Chain one and turn your work. We're going to do this all the way up. So we're going to half double crochet decrease again to start this next row. Half double crochet decrease into each of the following stitches except for the very last 2 of your row. When you get down to where you only have 2 stitches left in your row, you're going to work another half double crochet decrease. Chain one, turn your work, and do the same thing again. Half double crochet decrease to start the row. 1 half double crochet decrease into every stitch down except for the last 2. And you're going to end your row with another half double crochet decrease. Chain one, turn your work. Same thing again, start off with a half double crochet decrease, 1 half double crochet into each stitch down the row except for the last 2. It's getting less and less here. We're going to end with another decrease, half double crochet decrease. Chain one and turn your work. Now we're going to half double crochet decrease twice, as there's no more stitches in between. We only have 4 in this main row, so we're going to half double crochet decrease twice. Before fastening off, I like to just do a little slip stitch right into the same stitch we just finished doing our last decrease into. Just slip stitch right there to finish off a nice shape. Okay, and then you're going to fasten this off, and you'll just go ahead and repeat those exact same steps for the ear flap on the other side. And once you finish that other ear flap on the other side, then come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so once you finish that second ear flap, And you go ahead and fasten off at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and find that back seam and reattach the third color. In this case for me, I used cream. So just get your hook into that very last stitch where you fastened off the main part of the hat. Make a starting loop with your third color and get that on your hook. Pull it through the stitch to wrap it around it. And then chain one. Tighten up those little tail ends. It could be a little tricky, and we're going to work 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. Going around the ear flaps, it's not going to be stitches, but just you're going to be going based on the rows so that you can half double crochet evenly, having it evenly spaced, okay? So go ahead and work those half double crochets all the way around the entire edge of the hat, around both ear flaps, around the front and back. You're going to go all the way until you get back to the very beginning where you just reattach this third color, and you're going to close with a slip stitch and then come back. Okay, so now that you've finished that, we're going to go ahead and work on the eyes. So grab your black yarn, make a magic ring, and chain one. Work a half double crochet 5 times into the magic ring, okay? So you're going to work 5 half double crochets right into the magic ring. 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to grab that little piece of string, pull it closed. Close your magic ring with a slip stitch in the chain one space. I should have put a stitch marker. I apologize. But close with a slip stitch. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and attach now gray or whatever other color you want in the eyes. You could use whatever colors you want. We're going to attach that here, and we're going to work two half double crochets into each stitch all the way around. So by the end of this round, you're going to have 10 stitches, okay? So 2 half double crochets in every single stitch all the way around, close with a slip stitch in the chain one space, and then come back. Okay, so now that you've finished that round, you're going to go ahead and attach the third color that you just used on the perimeter of the hat. So in my case, it's cream. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the cream now. Chain one. And work 2 half double crochets into the first stitch. One half double crochet in the next. And you're going to work that, continue that all the way around, close with a slip stitch, and then come back. Okay, you're going to chain one, and using the same color still, we're going to do another round of increase. So 2 half double crochets into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. And you're going to go ahead and continue that all the way around, close with a slip stitch, and then come back. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and you're going to attach your secondary color of the hat. In my case, it's pink. Chain one. And you're going to work 2 half double crochets into the first stitch. 1 half double crochet into each of the following 3 stitches. Okay, and you're just going to keep on going all the way around until you get back to the beginning, close with a slip stitch, and come back. Okay, so now that you finished that round, you're going to go ahead and fasten it off, and you're just going to set this eye aside. Go ahead and work on the other one, and then come back and we'll move on to the beak. I know in the pattern I call it a nose, beak, whatever. All right, so here we're going to work on the nose or beak. We're going to do a starting loop with our brown yarn. Get that loop on the hook, and we're going to chain 5. Okay, so just work 5 chains. And we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Okay, so work 1 single crochet into that second chain from the hook and a single crochet into each of the remaining chains down the row. Okay. Chain 1, turn your work, and work 1 single crochet into each of those same 4 stitches. Okay, chain 1, turn your work, work a single crochet decrease 2 times. Chain 1, turn your work, single crochet decrease, and chain 1, and then you're just going to go ahead and fasten that off with a bit of a long tail end, so you can just use that tail end to sew it onto the hat. Fasten it off, pull it through, and you've got your little triangle beak. If there's any stitches in this pattern that you're having a hard time following, just go ahead and check out my stitch tutorials. I've included links in the description below. So now we're going to work on the little hair thing. So you're just going to cut, of the 4 main colors that you've been using, or 5, whatever, however many, just cut some, not too long, but long enough to work with, strands. Double it up so that you have 2 sets for each side. Okay, so I've got a few strands here. I've got my 4 colors I've been working with. I'm sorry, that's a little out of the view. There we go. So looking at the top of the hat, you're just going to decide where exactly that you're going to want to position them. Okay, use your hook, push it through a stitch there, and then just grab all of the pieces and just carefully kind of pull it through and up halfway. And then you're just going to go ahead and tie them on, right? I just tie it in a double knot, and then I'll actually take like just 2 pieces and wrap it around and tie that again, so it kind of holds it all as like one little like one little batch, whatever, rather than having it kind of split and separate because of the knot. So it's a little awkward getting all of those strands through. Right, like that. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. I just grab like 2 little pieces, random, doesn't matter which ones, just wrap them around and tie it, and then cut it off to make it a little shorter. That way it stands up better. See? Just wrap it around, tie it, and cut it a little shorter. It gives that little cute look. Do the same thing on the other side. Not really any rhyme or reason to it, just until you're happy with it. I'm just folding it to make both sides even, and then I'll snip the top of this other one that I just did. There we go. All right, and now you just got to get the other pieces of the face, and you're just going to use your yarn needle and sew those on. Like, just use your yarn needle, sew them on. I just use the tail ends and kind of weave them in and out. Get the little beak in position how you like it. And there you go, you've got your owl hat. Once you secure them all on, of course. And let's work on the tassels for the ear flaps. All right, so you're going to cut a few long strands of each of the colors, right? And you're going to grab the bottom of the ear flap right in the center, the bottom center stitch. So find that, push your hook through, and same thing, you're just going to wrap these around and pull it up. Hold on to one side because you only want to pull halfway through, like this. And you're going to kind of just fold it over that stitch and braid it. So we're going to separate the strands evenly, make sure that they're all even, and we'll braid them. Okay, so you're going to have them separated in 3 and just wrap like the outside right over the middle, left over the middle, right over the middle, left over the middle, like that, just in case if you're not familiar with how to braid. Thought I would show that part of the process here. And you're just gonna do that for the strings for however long that you want them to be, and then just tie it off on the bottom, and that's it. Okay, so once you've got that side of your strings done for the braid, you're going to go ahead and do that for the other side of the other ear flap on the other side of your hat. Use a yarn needle to weave all your tail ends in and out on the inside, and you're done.